This week's Parsha is Parshas Emor. And towards the end of the Parsha, the Torah tells us about the lechem upon him, the holy, heavenly showbread that stayed on the shulchan, on the golden table in the Beis HaMikdash. And it was baked every Friday, and it was eaten the following Shabbos. And it stayed fresh from week to week. Right after this Parsha of the lechem upon him, we have the Parsha of the Mekalel, the man who cursed Hashem because he couldn't get a place in the camp of Shevet Dan. He claimed he was from Shevet Dan, and he went into the Din Torah, and he lost. He was an Ish Mitzri, or his mother was, and since he didn't get what he wanted, he cursed Hashem. Question is, what's the connection? What's the smichas Parshas? What does the lechem upon him have to do with this Mekalel? Why is one right after the other? So the Sfas Emes says that the reason the lechem upon him stayed fresh from week to week wasn't just stam anes. It was because to show that HaKadosh Baruch, not to show, but it is, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is recreating the world every second. Hashem created the world with chesed. But not only does he hold it up with chesed, but he's recreating the world every second. And if he would leave, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu would not recreate the world, it would just cease to exist just like that. So he's mamish recreating the world every split second anew. And the best and most holy place to show that, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is seen, where his Shekhinah rests, is the Beis HaMikdash. That's Hashem's house. That's where he lives. So the best place to show this lechem upon him, and one of the nisim that happened was that it stayed fresh from week to week, is because it was baked fresh every single second. Hashem was showing, Hashem is recreating the freshness of this bread every second. So when someone walks into the Beis HaMikdash and sees this, they should be amazed. They should go, wow, this is unbelievable. This is a nace. This is beautiful. Hashem is recreating the world every second, and that should cause that person to have emunah and bitachon in Hashem. So the next parsha shows us a Mekalel who didn't have emunah in Hashem, and that's what happened to him. Why? Says Rashi, what did this Mekalel do? He came into the Beis HaMikdash, and instead of being amazed, he said, this is what you do? You give a king week-old bread? That's not what you do. You give a king fresh bread. He didn't understand the concept of Hamachadish B'tuv V'cholim Tav Mas Bereshis. And therefore he cursed Hashem. That's one pshat in Rashi. The other pshat is that he didn't get the encampment in Shevet Dan. But both of them was because he was angry. He was angry at Hashem, that caused him to cloud his judgment and not have emunah. He became angry and he cursed Hashem. But he justified it. He rationalized it by saying, oh, you give a king week-old bread, and he was so upset at that it disrupted his thinking, and then he ended up cursing Hashem, which is a huge aveira. It's the opposite of having emunah Hashem. He cursed Hashem. We should learn from here not to get angry and to always be amazed by the miracles that Hashem constantly does for us on a daily basis, whether we know it or not. May we be zeicher to have a beautiful Shabbos. Good Shabbos.